Welcome to She Talks, We Listen, man. We're going to have a lot of topics today. But first, we're going to start off with the voices that matter the most. You guys' voices. So I appreciate everybody for being here, being open, being vulnerable. These conversations people don't always want to have, but they need to be heard. It starts with control. It starts with isolation. It starts with your own choices. It starts with us all. The first segment is, as the show says, She Talks, We Listen. So based off the topic, we started with everybody gets on the panel, gets the open floor to give their example or their rendition of what they think the topic is. And this topic is domestic violence. So we'd love for all y'all to give us an experience, a story to help us better relate to your relationship with domestic violence so the people can grow and you guys can heal.
The moment I realized something wasn't right in my past relationship was my ex just trying to isolate me from everyone, trying to separate me from my family, from my friends, trying to change who I was. All of those things, just those were the first things that I noticed that something wasn't right. But I was so in love with this person that thought that they just wanted to like spend time with me in the beginning, or they just wanted all of my time in the beginning. But really those were red flags that I should have paid attention to at the time, but I didn't realize it until down the line.
Well, thank Allah, I've never gone through it myself, but I was a witness to someone who did. And the person that was the aggressor or the attacker, I wouldn't have thought would be that type of person until I saw them firsthand actually engage in that type of behavior. And I was like, what the fuck? And it's the same type. It's a person who, if I was to come to them and say someone was treating me in that manner, they'd want to go fuck them up, want to go kill their ass. And I'm like, but you the same type of nigga. How the fuck you gonna get mad if a nigga whoop my ass and you out here whooping your bitch ass? Like, that doesn't even make any sense. And so to see that it really, and this was when I was a teenager. I was like maybe 13 or 14, and the person who was the aggressor was someone I looked up as to like a brother. Like, they were my brother's best friend. And so to me, even though we didn't share blood, I still to this day consider them as my brother. And they've grown, they've matured, they've progressed from that. But in that era, in that life, like, that fucked me up. It really did. So that's my story.
See, I don't really deal with the physical aspect. It's more so the mental aspect. My past relationship, I was married before, and it was more so of a mental aspect. We got a 7-year, 8-year age gap. So like the separation of family, you understand what I'm saying? The isolation, that's more so what I dealt with. Like, just making it seem like, they all you got, things like that sort. So I'll expound more, but that's more so what I dealt with, not the physical aspect.
When I was in college, one of my closest friends, who was always quiet, real beautiful girl, she one day broke down when we were talking about dynamics in human relationship. And she explained to us that she was a victim of domestic violence. She had gotten away from her husband, who had slit her throat. She told a lot, and we can expand on that later. But it was crazy because he did what the other young lady was talking about. He at first, because he had money, he had gotten her away from her family. He had gotten her away from her friends. After the honeymoon phase, he started beating her to the point where he was putting her in the hospital a little too often. then it was even more brutal. But when he almost killed her, that's when she like got away at like old dark 40. And we came upon knowing her, or rather I went to college with her after she had, I guess, gone through rehab. And she would always wear, even in the summertime, things across her neck. But we can talk about that later.
Yes. I'm agree with what Don said. I like it wasn't physical for me. It was more so like mental games. Um, I feel just playing these little mental games, trying to isolate me from my friends, not able to go out as much. Feel like I got to hurry up and it was just a lot of mental games. So it wasn't more physical. So that's what I dealt with when it come to that. 'Cause,
Okay.
uh,
I know a couple of y'all wanted to expound on things in the open floor about is it a way, like, is it any type of advice we got for ladies to get out, or any type of advice we got for best friends, cousins, sisters, brothers, uncles to advise someone to get break free?
Don't be scared. Don't don't think that. I think that a lot of, I know for myself, for me it was physical and mental abuse. And my ex made me feel like gonna be in trouble. You get what I'm saying? Like I was a kid. Like, if you try to leave, something gonna happen to you. I'm gonna get you, or I'm gonna kill you. It was the threat. But I would just tell anyone, don't allow those. You gotta talk to somebody. You gotta tell somebody what you're going through. Like, just don't be scared to get out of the situation. It's a lot, but somebody that you can confide in, a safe place, and just get out the situation. As soon as you see those red flags, the situation, don't hold on to it. Don't, he gonna change, she gonna change. When the first time they hit you, they gonna hit you again. The first time they put you down, they gonna put you down again. And it's just gonna get worse and worse and worse. For me, I literally just got away from my abuser. They literally just went to jail. And it's crazy. Like I was telling Tish a few weeks ago, I literally was praying, like praying every night that this person was just removed from my life. I'ma say, like, on a Monday I was praying. By Friday, I got the phone call, and he called me and was like, can you call so and so? I just got locked up. This down the third. Like a relief was lifted off my back, because I didn't know how I was gonna get out the situation. You get what I'm saying? Like, my daughter 17, my daughter ran away over the summer because my daughter didn't like this person. My daughter was tired of, like, seeing this person physically and mentally abuse me. Um, it's just a lot. You know what I'm saying? Tell anybody, like, just get out. Just get out. I don't care how many times a person tell you they love you. I don't care how many times a person tell you they not gonna do it again. The gaslighting. Man, don't believe none of that stuff. Don't believe none of that stuff. It's not right. It's not right. So mentally, physically, like, I'm what I want to say. I'm so damaged by it, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like, Trey Five, I don't know if you was following my old Instagram. Like, for example, I'm Muslim, but a few years ago, I wasn't covering up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that I start covering up for my ex, because at the end of the day, I cover for the sake of Allah. But my ex put in my head, installed in my head, that, like, I can't be who I am, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, now I'm trying to refine myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot. Like, for example, if I can't even go to the mailbox without being covered, because I feel like something bad gonna happen, because this man has, like, installed it in my head. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, y'all. This it's a lot. Mm-mm-mm.
Can I say something?
Mhm.
Um, I wanted to say, I wanted to speak on the, the God piece you were saying as well. I think, what a lot of domestic violence abusers have in common, whether it's physical or mental, I think our the person that did it to us, 9 times out of 10, they prey on our insecurities.
Mhm.
You understand what I'm saying? But at once, before they preyed on our insecurities, they praised them. You feel
Mhm.
me? So they built them up, but they was one of the only people that might have built them up. Built it up, and it's like once they trash you, it's like damn, you was faking the whole time. So it's like they got your self esteem on a ball. So what I had to teach myself, like, with going through all I went through with my divorce and shit like that, is like self esteem is esteem of the self. It's how I feel about myself. You
Mhm.
understand what I'm saying? So if I know I'm worth it, if I know God got me, like I know what's up with me. Nobody can take that from me. You understand what I'm saying? But it was one point in time that my ex was able to take that from me. Like I
Mhm.
feel like maybe I can't do better. Like damn, like maybe I don't know. Like shit, is this the best I could get? You understand what I'm saying? But you gotta go and you gotta travel and you gotta go places. And some people that you don't even know will tell you be like, oh yeah, you got a light that I don't think you may see, but I see it. I mean, and some people, and sometimes you got to get them compliments, and you got to get that praise, and you got to get them people to make you feel good, you know, to restore your self esteem. Because once they notice your self esteem broken, man, I ain't gonna lie, man, it's like sharks in the water. That's just my experience, with dealing with, domestic. It don't even have to be in a relationship. It could be your friends. Your friends
Mhm.
can use your self esteem against you too. Like, girl, she knows she don't deserve shit, so I'm gonna be a shitty friend, or I'm gonna be a little bit better than the shitty person she been dealing with. And it could be okay. That's just my take on it.
So I tell people all the time that there's a such thing called energy vampires. They see your light when you don't see it. Everybody has a light, and it's always the people, I think, that shine the brightest, that go through life the lowest. And often women and some men, because I'm not going to discount men, because men are victims of domestic
Mhm.
violence too. They just don't talk about it. But mostly when women are victims of domestic violence, they have the brightest light, and they'll walk through with their head low. If a person give them a compliment, they don't take it. But one of the biggest things that I have learned is these people, it's the labeling thing for me. How the first thing to come out of a person's mouth is, oh, he's a narcissist.
Mhm.
Stop with the labels. This person is a jackass. And for real, he probably was a victim himself when he was a kid. One of
Mm.
two things occurred. He was a victim when he was a kid, and he either hated it so much that he cleaved to it or got away from it. And so when you see men preying upon women, because I always tell people now that social media was the best and the worst thing that happened to people, bar none. But when you hear men say on social media, oh, I do this, and the fourth, and I look for women who um dress a certain way, act a certain way, talk a certain way, they are perusing for women. It's the same way that they kind of look for kids to pick on. And so I just don't have a whole lot of respect for people. And Fatima, sweetheart, my heart is breaking for you right now. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to get better. It really is. You have to get some support. It's not going to be easy because, first of all, like you said, you believe in Allah, so you're going to really, really have to sit with Him. You're going to have to get your support because you don't feel safe right now. And with no safety, you don't have a firm ground to stand on. But every day a little bit more and more. And like I said, but my heart is breaking for you, and I'm praying for you, because this is nothing easy. It's nothing light. And even though I've never been a direct victim of it, anytime a woman is assaulted in any kind of way, all women are assaulted.
Thank you. But I feel I agree with what you just said. And I think that that's why I stayed with this person for a long time, because I felt bad in the sense that I didn't know any better. It felt like, maybe the way they were brought up, or certain events or things that happened in their life was the reason they treated me a certain type of way. Some point I had to stop making up excuses for this person. You know what I'm saying? Because at some point you gotta come to wrong is wrong and right is right. Um, God willingly, it'll get better.
Oh, it will. Let's know we all want to give you a virtual hug right now because you know we love you. You know what I'm saying? And that's the purpose of this. You know what I'm saying? So you could be able to have some type of village, some type of therapy. Because a part of it, if when I'm ever asked for the solutions, this is the solution that I have. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to grow to be more mature. You know, from what Carmen was saying, from that space of being that type of guy of knowing like you get the want to put that cape on and want to beat up everybody. You know what I'm saying? Especially for the women, but you have to learn to understand you can't do it. So try to just build platforms for y'all to be able to come together, man. Because you can't talk to yourself about these things, you know, and you got to be able to grow and build and get, you know, your flower water from your peers. Because we can go to pink flags. I don't want you to get emotional unless you need to. You know what I'm saying?
I'm already over here crying. That's why I got my camera off.
Yeah, it's all love. Let's see if I could bring a little bit of humor for you. Next segment is definitely my favorite segment from She Talks We Listen, and it is pink flags. So we're gonna talk about pink flags. These are the things that don't scream abuse, but if you're paying attention, they might be the warning signs. It's the little things that don't seem like a big deal at first, the way someone speaks to you, the way someone's react to when you don't answer their calls, the way they make you feel. You always owe them some type of explanation and you feel like you under someone's thumb. So we're going to get to pink flags where we work through some scenarios and y'all let me know if it's a red flag or if it's a pink flag.
Since you got your degree and you know every fucking thing.
First pink flag is the partner gets mad aggressive and very angry when you don't instantly reply to texts and calls. Is that a red flag or it's pretty cool? They just love you. It's a pink flag.
Depending on how I laid it down the night before, man. I don't know. It might be a pink flag, man. It depends.
It's a red tampon. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I get that before we even get to a level where you should feel like you could do something like that. Like the intro they be giving. I text you the other day. Like we just like Slim. I had a life before you came into it. I'm sorry. I didn't know I was on a schedule that I had to text you back by 8:15 or something like. That's red as a motherfucker for me.
I can't jump out the airplane. That's a red flag. This ain't a clock. We not at work. That ain't no hell no. Red flag.
Definitely a red flag.
Yeah, that's a red flag. I feel I don't even get trust at the beginning. Like you already, it ain't gonna work. It's a red flag.
All right, next one. Your partner is pressuring you to cut off friends, family, basically isolate you from the world because they love you so much. They just want you all to themselves. Is that a red or a pink flag?
That is thank you, no thank you. Come again. Go find somebody else. That's how it starts. I love you so much. I want all your time. Nah, I'm gonna go ahead. The DMV area is very small, but you'd be surprised how you can disappear in the DMV area. So I'm gonna go ahead and act like I'm in the witness protection and I'm gonna disappear.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's definitely a red flag for me. That just like you said, that's how I start. I mean, they start messing with your mental. I don't feel trust. I can't do nothing. Like you, no, I'm prisoner. Like no, red flag.
Yeah, it's a red flag for me. That's like Tish said, that's how it starts. Relation, get you away from everyone. It's a red flag.
Oh, it's red as shit. What all the young queens said before me, it can't happen. I'm sorry, no negative. Flag.
Yeah, it's red. It's red. It's red. It's red.
Okay. Now, your partner jokingly always threaten that they're gonna lay a hand on you, or you man, I hurt you, man, I'm gonna choke you, or you make me wanna, etc. Even though they never done it before. Is that a red flag?
No.
Or
Any joke got some truth in it. Any joke got a little bit of truth in it. No. Any joke got a little bit of truth in it. That's all I gotta say.
I definitely agree. Any joke does have a little bit of truth to it. I feel like, sometimes people jokingly meet like say stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like that they really want to do or eventually they gonna do. So I don't know. From past experiences, yeah, I think
I agree with the two queens before me. Like, yeah, you jokingly said that, but you meant that shit. Like, you could have said, why of all the jokes you could tell, that's we supposed to laugh and giggle. That wasn't funny. No.
The grave is filled with people that told them kind of stories. I don't play like that.
I don't want that type of love. If you want to do something to me and all that, that's a problem. So nah, I'm good. I'm going to move on the next way because I don't even want to play like that. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause just like they did, say, you do got some type of something. You ain't just saying it for nothing. You ain't just coming up with that type of thought. So yeah, I agree with the girls.
Your partner continues to gaslight their bad behavior to friends and family members and try to include you into the reason that they perform these kind of acts. Is that a red flag or is it a pink flag because they're showing communication, trying to explain to you what's going on?
It seems like this question for me, it's a red flag. Because I know of a person that try to do them type of things, act like it's sweet, come around me and then try to show off in front of my girlfriends like you trying to make me look bad because whatever for whatever reason I don't know because I don't have to do that. And then my girlfriend's looking at that person like he finding it funny, but we not. So yeah, that's definitely a red flag.
It's an invitation for them to go see a therapist and me to bow out. That clearly is a sign they're eating. Now that might be a sign of a narcissist. That might be a sign that they have some type of mental issue. But I'm not a doctor. I'm not your caregiver. When you use that type of tactic, you clearly are setting me up for something. It's disrespectful. It's rude, and it's something that I shouldn't have to put up with. So yeah, that's a hell no for me. That's not a red flag. That's a black flag.
yeah, it's a red flag for me too. It's definitely giving narcissistic behavior, or there's something is wrong within that person. So I would definitely say a red flag.
The queens have said it. I don't have to repeat it. It is a red, it's a black, it's a every goddamn color that in the rainbow flag for me. Cause nah, I ain't rocking. I can't do it. I'm sorry. I wouldn't do that to them. So I damn sure don't want it done to me.
Yeah, it's a red flag. I don't really like my business talked about in front of everybody. Like we can handle it. We going to a counselor or it's just me and you talking about it. I don't really like to speak about my situation with other people.
All right. Last but not least, your partner is superior financially and they feel like they are the primary caretaker of all of the needs that go on in a relationship. They feel like you should submit in a relationship because they are superior financially and they feel like they're the primary caregiver in your relationship as far as children, home, etc. And they flex on you because of that. Is that a red flag because you are undeserving of that and you also have talents, but you feel like you are just taking on the road that is necessary? Or is that a pink flag because that's what you're looking for in a relationship and you want a partner that's going to take control and be a leader?
I feel like if my partner is the superior person financially and like, is doing everything he's supposed to be doing in the household, then naturally I'm already gonna submit. So it's not going that's not gonna be something he would have to ask for. So I would say that's a pink flag.
Whew. I'm sorry, I couldn't even put myself in that position. It's hard for me to allow somebody to feel like they gotta take care of me or they can't take care of me or I can't take care of myself. And the only reason I feel like that is because at any point something could happen to them, and if I'm relying or dependent on them, and then something happens, then I'm looking crazy because I don't know what to do. I got to try to figure it out and get things together at the last minute. So I would I I wouldn't be able to even put myself in that position for somebody to be the financial whatever. And right now, the fuck ship that I'm in, because I ain't in a relationship. I'm the money getter right now. I'm the financial bringer. So, but I don't treat them as like, oh, they owe me, or they like, nah, I got it. Let's go. We about to go. Yeah. So I don't know. I don't frown on those who do, or because again, like Bill said, if they do what they supposed to do and how it's supposed to be done, then I would imagine that they would already submit or feel that they should be submissive. But I just can't do it because that's not the women in my family. They didn't show that, so I don't do that.
It's cringe for me, but that's the definition of a patriarchal society. I think that it has a lot to do with the man and how he feels. If he's flexing on the woman because he does everything, that's control, that's dominance. And that's not a red flag, that's a black flag. That's the way this country right now is about to go back to, with a lot of the laws and things that they're trying to subvert and to put back on the books. And so, like the other young lady was talking about, yeah, if you're doing what you like to do, or what you should do, between the two people, if you have that understanding, then the woman, women don't want to be controlled; they want to be led. So if you're leading and she's doing, if that's what she wants to do, it's not a problem. If you're trying to control, that's a different story. For me personally, it would definitely be a hell no for me, because I feel like that aspect or that notion where you're flexing on me, not I'm taking care of everything, and we've worked this out before we got together, and it's mutual understanding between the two of us. Now it's dominance, and that's a problem for me. So yeah, no, hell no, thank you. Mm-mm.
I think it's a red flag. I don't think, whether who make more money or not, even if it's the man that make more money than the woman, I don't think it's a problem with submission if the person that is leading the household makes it easy to submit. I don't think money really play a part in that. And I don't really think you should be flexing on your partner. It's a partnership at the end of the day. We both on the same level. You feel me? Even if you bring in 70% of the income, I make up, from what everything that I do, because we a partnership, as I said, especially if we got kids in the household and things of that sort, everything will come together. We all as one. I don't even think you should be separating. No, I take care of this, I take care of that. If you a certain type of man or a certain type of person, that's what you do anyway. So it ain't no flex about it.
Okay, so I feel it can go both ways in the form of fashion. Like I would listen to Ma P, and I mean, I feel it can go both ways in the force. Like I feel like we shouldn't be worrying about the money and all that, but if he's doing what he need to be doing, and I'm doing what I need to be doing, of course it's going to flow naturally with the submission, whatever that case is. But at the same time, I'm still going to be wanting to do what I want to do, as far as if I got a business going on, and regardless of who bringing the money. Like at the end of the day, just like Dom was saying, is partnership. So if it's that understanding among both, but not that control type situation, like okay, I'm doing this, I'm bringing in the money, and you got to do it. We not doing we not doing all that. But we will move together as one. I want to say, regardless of who bringing what to the pack, because it's all in the same household. So that's how I feel about it. But with the name on it and all that, nah, everything should just flow. Love just go. It should be like just a slow smoke. Like it should just flow on all this title and who bringing the most money and all that. Because if all that stuff gone, if we got to go back to the washing boards, we should be able to have that bond. That we doing everything together in the household. So I don't know that title and all that. Like that what bothers me the most. But like you doing what you got to do, daddy. Treatment, it is what it is. But all that, I'm doing this, and you got to do this, and I'm going to be forced to do. I'm not doing all that. But we can move godly.
I agree with the rest with the rest of the ladies saying. I'm definitely I think it's a red flag to a certain extent.
But yeah, all of those flags, man. Those flags just represent a lot of things. So we could get a better understanding of how to identify how we getting into these situations, how to get out of these situations, and even what these situations is in the first place. So I guess we'll segue. Next up, we got women of culture. Tonight, we spotlighting two women who faced abuse in the public eye and found their way to the other side. First, Tina Turner. She survived years of abuse from Ike Turner, years. And when she finally left my man Ike, she had nothing but her name, but she didn't let that stop her. She fought, she rebuilt, and she became one of the greatest artists of all time on her own terms. Then we got Riri, man, Rihanna. She was young, in love, and found herself in an abusive relationship that played out in front of the entire world. And instead of letting it define her, she took back her power, focused on healing, and went on to become a billionaire, a mogul, and a role model for a whole lot of women in America, Caribbeans, shit, all over the world. So, what can we learn from these two women? What do their stories teach us about healing and reclaiming their life?
Those were two like amazing stories. Like seriously, all jokes aside, I don't think, I mean, as strong as I think that I am, or know that I can be, I don't think that I could have withstood like something of that magnitude on either, like, at all. And to have like the world tuned in on it, and I take my head off to them. So I mean, it's amazing how they, bounce back from it, and really, like, I'm about to cry just thinking about it. So I don't even want to talk about it too much because I'm gonna mess up my makeup. But like it's really, it's a really amazing. It's a really amazing story, and it taught me a lot about being a woman and standing for myself and not allowing certain things and things of that nature.
Hey, that was on time. Okay, I was getting my list together. Okay, so what I got out of both of them, just looking at them two girls go through what they went through, what I got out of it is just fight, never give up, power that women have. They strong. Your name is all you have sometimes, cause that one name that mean a lot. I take my hat off to them both. Especially with Tina. She didn't know what she was getting into. She was young. She thought she was in love, young in love. You don't know. You just running with it, and everything went so fast. I mean, just so fast. Like they met, married, baby, torn. I mean, everything. So what I got out of that, sometimes moving fast in love, it will do, love will have you do crazy things like they say, but it's a lesson that I got out of it, that watching Tina go through, sometimes it just gotta take that time, I guess, to know somebody, because you never know what can happen. But again, if it's that fast love, you everything new, so you ain't gonna know. So what I say is be strong, don't give up. Of course, keep your power and keep moving. But they strong girls, and then my girl Riri, I was shocked with the fact with her and Chris Brown. I'm still hurt today with them, but that's another story. But look how what she went through, and look where she at now, billionaire. So we got power. I mean, I just don't give up. Fight.
I have a slightly different take on both of them. I think for me with Tina Turner, to me, Tina Turner was an example of your abuse starts at home. Her mother was extremely abusive. And so domestic violence often starts when you are abused at home, when you don't feel the love from either both parents or one parent. So it was easy for Ike to even groom her, not only with the gaslighting, but just all of it. And she stayed so long because not only was she being abused, she just felt like she had to stay for so many people. I was happy when she got away, happy when she even left and moved to Switzerland. I watched Tina Turner for many years, fan of Tina Turner, happy when she got away, sad when I found out that she had cancer. But happy when she even got married to the guy she got married to. The Chris Brown Rihanna thing, I always took a different take. For me, it was a case of two young people. I always thought that she gave as good as she got in that relationship. It was one of them, because I'm a Gen Xer, so it was one of those type of situations where I looked at it like she's from the island. She was a young feisty girl, and she probably was as handsy as he was. So she wasn't. I never looked at her as a victim. per se, how some people looked at her, like, oh, she was a victim. I never looked at Rihanna as a victim. So it wasn't like she had to like come from under, like Chris Brown was like battering and beating on her. It was like this particular situation got caught on camera. And so I always looked at her as a strong young lady. I always looked at her as a talent. It just got out. I always believe those two people loved each other. I think they still love each other. It was just a situation where young people do stupid shit, and there it is. I'm happy that she's still a role model for other young ladies. I'm happy for that. But I'm definitely happy that both of them were able to speak up for women when it comes to domestic violence, and they didn't shy away from it. But definitely the Tina Turner one is definitely more impactful, because it just shows you, please don't stay long, because you'll waste your life away. So that's my take.
Kind of like what the last young lady just said. Rihanna came out in the interview and said she hit him first. So I never really looked at her as a victim. I kind of look at Chris Brown as the victim in that situation because, he got so much backlash from it and it lasted for so long. Like, it really had an impact on what his career has become. As far along as he got, I feel like he could be so much farther along, if his career wasn't tainted by this one terrible thing that he did when he was a child. We've all been in relationships when we was young. I know myself, I done knocked several niggas out and laid up with them the next day. So I don't know. Like, but with Tina Turner, I feel like that's a perfect example of, feeling stuck. And I think that her situation is what that taught me was to always be able to stand on my own 2 feet in any situation. Like, even if I go into a situation with a nigga and he's the breadwinner, I still need to be able to take care of these bills if we break up, or, move out and go do what I need to do or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that is kind of what I took from that. I feel like he felt trapped. Um, Again, like she said, for so many different people, I feel like the kids played a major part in that. Um, but yeah, and also learning how to defend yourself is important. And y'all gotta forgive me, I'm still over here doing hair. That's why I'm late.
Just to expound on what Blizz and Mom Peep said, well, Rihanna, I feel like they was young. Like she said, she from the islands, and she got a little feisty. She seen that phone, and also they under the guise of being famous. They famous and they young and everything heightened and everything is on camera and everything is recorded. So they didn't really get a chance to foster a good relationship. You feel me? They had so many um um people in their ear. Whereas though Ike and Tina, which is a totally different dynamic. She was a broken little girl when Ike found her. Like Mom P said, her mom was very abusive, and when they found out she could sing, they really pimped it. Ike really pimped her mother out for, to stay close to her. So Tina really didn't have people other than one friend, that really kept it solid for her. So I speak on, just to expound on what I was saying earlier, like it's big to have like self-esteem and have real motherfuckers around you, because if you don't, it's a lot of motherfuckers that pray against you and that, they'll rather see you in that situation. It's like they'll rather see, they want to see you doing good, but not better than them. So if they going through shit with they nigga or they girl, they like, fuck it. Like, girl, you ain't no better than me. So look, you can deal with it. So, yeah, I just say it's big on, man, getting right with self and your mental and making sure you right within yourself, knowing who you are. So can nobody trick you and can nobody play on your insecurities and move you away from your people and having you feel like it's just all them or nobody else.
Did anybody want to expound further on? Because I heard a lot of different points about all of those ladies where that was definitely different from the prompt that I was saying. So with Rihanna, I guess when Bill's bringing it up about Chris Brown taking that L, I guess in some cases Just to be the moderator, folks, I always gotta give a disclaimer on the episode, guys. I know I'm the only guy, but I'm just the moderator. I have to bring context and nuance so they can further expound on their, you know what I'm saying, ideas. But it does build a conversation of stuff like the Megan Thee Stallion, Rihanna. It's like a lot of those guys, they definitely take them L's. So like I really didn't see how that hurt Rihanna's career personally. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say it made her, but I didn't see how it hurt her.
It hurt Chris.
Yeah, and it
I'm
definitely hurt
with
Chris.
Bills. It hurt Chris. I'm gonna tell you, it as a woman, like I said, when I saw it, I said, "Would you look at this shit?" It made me mad. That's what I'm saying. As a grown woman, it made me mad because I was sitting there saying to myself, I think what made me mad was the Oprah interview. And I wasn't watching Oprah too much, but I was like, if I could have jumped through that screen and smacked the shit out of her, I probably would have.
I feel
Because
like they pimped her though. I feel like
right,
they
but I
pimped her.
was like, how dare
Mhm.
they say she sit up here? Because I was like, here's a smart, beautiful girl, but I was like, don't come on TV and act like that. And I was like, I know good and damn well y'all was in there squaring off against each other. And like I said, because young people, it's like you know how you told when you're in a relationship with somebody, don't tell. Like if y'all you in a relationship, don't go home and tell your mother, don't go home and tell your father that, you know, well, mom, me and my husband, me and my boyfriend, or me and my girlfriend, whatever, we had a fight or whatever. Because the minute y'all piece it up, your parents don't forget that, or your best friends or whatever, they don't forget that. And when you go back the next day for Sunday dinner, or y'all go out to a brunch or whatever, your people are looking at you like, really, but you just said A, B, C, and D. But y'all all up in love in each other's arms. And so now you standing here looking stupid, but your people are like, what is this? What's going on? And so now they have an informed opinion about your significant other. And so that's what, in my opinion, Rihanna did. And like the young lady said, when she did those interviews, of course, because that's what the record label wants, all these people want, because this is all about money. And I'm sure that they had some type of conversation with each other or whatever, but Chris Brown did take that loss. He took the loss because he couldn't do, some of the award shows, this, that, and the fourth. And even recently with the Diddy situation, when it came out, they tried to say something, tie him to Diddy. And I'm like, now y'all know good and damn well, stop. Just stop it right the hell there.
Yeah, he
That
couldn't
is
do the
not
Michael
Diddy.
Jackson joint at the Grammys.
Right.
Mhm.
That young
And they
man
stopped
is
his radio play for like 2 years.
so talented.
Mm-hmm.
It's like he was not R. Kelly. And I will say this: R. Kelly, Bill Cosby, and all of them. I think another conversation, maybe you could bring this up in the future conversation. There's a difference between the artist and their work product. R. Kelly is R. Kelly, and R. Kelly maybe was a victim, when he was, doing whatever, and he then became a predator. But damn it, R. Kelly is a damn genius
If
in
you
what he
take
does.
away the music, we wouldn't have no music. We wouldn't have
Correct.
any samples. We wouldn't
I
have
think
anything.
I
We
think
wouldn't have anything.
yeah, no,
Nah.
he has immaculate music, but I think
Catalog. We talking about the samples, the catalogs. We
yeah,
wouldn't have no YTB fat hits. We wouldn't
yeah,
have none of that.
yeah, all of the new stuff. I just think Mom brought up a great point earlier about the people you talk to, how they, it seems how you go to them for therapy, but they villainize your partner. I think it's also a balance of that. I think some of your people have to understand that you are coming to them for therapy. I always try to practice that as much as I can. A lot of my brothers, man, come. I think that's how I probably was even able to do stuff like this because they come to me with a lot of stuff, but I know how to walk in the room with that woman and not think of the conversation he had on the phone with me. Like that don't even apply to her in real life. I still have to treat her through me and her interactions. That's just how I am, though. You know what I'm saying? But you can shit on her to a certain extent on the phone to me or in conversation because you gotta get whatever you gotta get off. But me knowing that at the end of the day, I value y'all union. I value if I love a brother or a sister, I value your union with somebody you love. Period. You know what I'm saying? So if eventually those conversations come with it, just keep being toxic, then yeah, I'm gonna give you some advice. But at the end of the day,
Well,
I know better than to change how I act. But I
So
know
let
what
me
you're saying
say,
because mothers and a lot of other people, fathers and family members can't do that.
so let me say this. So first of all, you got to consider the source, because a lot of people that think they're in relationships are simply just playing. They're not really in a relationship. They either just fucking on each other or they're just having a transaction.
Where's R. Kelly bumping and grinding?
But let's do it. You know, it's just a transaction. It's not serious. It's just a transaction. And so that's why it's so easy for domestic violence to take hold in a relationship, simply because, like Tish said, love is easy. It flows. You don't put love in a bottle, you don't put it in a box. It does what it needs to do. And when you're young, like you have puppy love, you know, because love comes in stages. And when you start learning to, you know, when you have maturity with love, because you get your heart broken and all of these type of different things or whatever. But when you really begin to understand that love isn't so much about what somebody can do for you, more as is what you can do for them and yourself, you begin to understand that, you know what, when you get married, and this is something I think that you get when you get really old. People will say, you know, when you exchange your vows, you should be love, you know, it should be forever. People grow. I'm not going to be the same me today that I'm going to be 10 years from now. There's a difference between being in love and loving somebody. But again, because people really aren't in relationship, it's a problem. So it's easier for you to slap me, knock me down, beat me, cheat on me, disrespect me, because you don't love me. It's easy for you to tell me to beat the hell out of me and go buy me something and say, oh, you know, I ain't gonna do it again. Bitch, are you crazy? Have you lost your ever loving mind? How about let me do the beating and then I go buy you something and we'll flip this script and do it again. I do need people to understand that you got to be whole first. You got to be you first. See, we have grown up with some real screwed up narratives. Girls grow up immediately. And if you ever notice this, when you're a little girl, you get a baby doll. You get a little kitchen. Little boys get water guns and this, that, and the fourth. And if a little boy picks up a baby doll, that's gay, which is some bullshit. If he picks up a little easy bake oven, and anything that is menial, it's a problem. If she picks up the damn gun, she wrong. It starts real young. It starts problematic. If a little boy fall down and he get to crying, bitch, what he supposed to do? He bleeding. Suck it up. But the minute that he hits the girl, don't hit her. But if she hits him, she like him. But then when they get in high school, it's cool if he beat the hell out of her. But if she turn it back, then it's a problem. We really got to start looking at the narratives and things that we put into each other. Because the shit is not cool. It's really not.
You think easy bake ovens is perpetuating women to submit to abuse?
Don't, you know what? I'll jump through this thing, slap you. Don't do it. You know better. You know good well, all of y'all know how to cook. Every mother, listen, a mom and a dad ain't worth a shit if they don't teach their kids how to survive. It's not just about knowing how to make money. Because see, I say this all the time. Men have a false narrative about themselves. That's why they often have a problem. Here's the false narrative. Here's the first biggest false narrative. That all you are is dick and balls, a hunter-gatherer, a provider, and a protector. And what you're going through right now in this space, especially in this administration, is if I don't have a job, I'm less than a man. If I don't have a home, a car, if I don't have the money, I'm not a man. if my woman can't even fucking listen to me because the white man or the black man or whoever the fuck I work for is treating me like shit, then at least the woman should be able to listen to me. So if I go home and she talking shit to me, then who am I? You are grown ass human being that is worthy enough to know that you got a gift, whatever that gift is, that is supposed to be shared with other people. And yes, hunting, gathering, and all of that stuff, that's great. Yeah, that's a part of it. But the thing is, we've been lying to ourselves and we've been lying to each other. The same thing with females. We are not just beauty. We are brains. And that damn, what is it? The red blue table. Listen, I am sick of that shit too. Women don't hate men. Men don't hate women. Cut it out. That's not what this is about. We hate badass behavior. That's what we hate.
Okay.
We hate dominance. See, because here's the trick of the day. Here's the mama gem for everybody. A woman would follow if a man would lead. So how about if a man grows the hell up, get himself together, and lead? But you can't expect yourself to be a man when your definition is askewed and you're looking at too many wrong definitions thinking you're going to get something right. Because I don't know where the hell you come from, but 1 + 1 can't be 7. I don't know that's not trigonometry. It's not Singaporean math. It ain't none of that shit. It just doesn't happen that way. But we fall for it. And here's the deal. And I'm going to let it go. Black women been putting it down for black men forever. We will take y'all broken, bent, linked over to the side, right, wrong, indifferent. We know y'all. We cop for y'all. And if we told the truth all the way, right back to slavery, we did the unspeakable just to make sure that you stayed on the same damn plantation. But social media came along and then right back to, well, women ain't this and women ain't that. Well, then why the hell are you in somebody's DM? Don't date no single baby mom. Young man, you some damn body's son. Shut up. Understand that the game is rigged and it's locked. Get your whole mind right. Stop playing checkers and play chess. If you got a problem with a female, a woman, somebody you like, just talk. Before you go to put your hands on somebody, put it on your damn self. Go to the gym. But always kills me. Now you'll put your hand on the female, but you won't put your hands on the man. That makes sense. Oh, okay. I'm done.
Oh, we can't hear you, Bills. I think you
Yep.
mute. I unmuted you. I can mute you. Unmute you. I know you doing hair. I can see you. All right.
Thank you,
I
chicken
got you.
nugget.
I got
But
you.
look, way to crochet. Okay, so for me, I just feel like I think it's important to remember that niggas can be victims too. And I think we don't talk enough about men being victims of domestic violence and the things that occur for them on the other side, you know. But I also feel like it's important for women to learn how to defend themselves. Like, we like dating these big burly ass niggas, but we can't fucking fight. You know what I mean? If you want to date a nigga that's 6'4", 280 pounds, and you know that you only weigh 142 pounds, maybe you take a couple kickboxing classes, so just in case some shit occurs, you'll be able to defend yourself. Not saying you should be looking for that level of toxicity when you go into a relationship, but just be able to, get the fuck up there or something. And then you got all of this shit around you. If you ever pick something up, just book a buck up. You know, I'm a firm believer in, you know, just get shit done. I don't know, like.
She said, "Booga booga." Thank you.
I'm telling you, I will hit you with a TV, nigga.
All right, look. So if I can ask a question that prompted me from Moss, what Moss said was, if a man is willing to lead, the women will follow, right?
hmm
Now for the guys, so they can learn, because a lot of guys tap in, because anything that's all women they love. So y'all got a lot of fans. So can we tell the young women that's listening, the ill-advised young couples that's listening, even the men that's listening, so they could know? I would dang, I would now I'm thinking about it. I would love to know what y'all think leadership look like. What a man that, even if we could make it short, like 3 components, 5 components of what you would consist of this man holding these 5 traits or characteristics, or woman, they are a leader. And then also to Mom's point, when you say if a man will lead, the woman will follow, I also would want to know, what does the woman what does that consist of? Because when you was killing me a little bit off with the easy bake ovens, so if they not gonna if we're gonna do the equal opportunity with the kids, like the girls had a gun, everybody got everything, right? I would just want to know, what does the male leading or the woman leading, the leader, what does that consist of? And then what would the follower, what was the woman that's following that leader, what would that consist of? If it's not the obvious of cooking, bearing children, etc., what would those things consist of then? I would love for you to start, Mom, because I'm building the
Okay.
premise off what you said. So
Okay. So some of the components, like I said, for each, let me say this, it should be case by case, because no 2 people are the same, right? But one of the things is you should be able to communicate, and communication looks different. You should have a healthy respect for each other. That's another component. And I think you should be able to, like I said, you should have a clear understanding of what your love is, because it doesn't have to make sense to anybody else but to the 2 of you. And you said, what does it look like? Well, it looks like if both of y'all are working 40 or 80 hours, you don't have, you know how most people say, well, a woman should cook, clean, and this, that, and the fourth. How about if sometimes men are better cooks? And so if he's the better cook, then maybe she's doing the, some of the cleaning. Or it could be, if he's cooking, she's doing something else. But the deal is, it's reciprocity. It's not always that, she's cooking. It's maybe sometimes he's cooking. It's the fact that it's back and forth. And it's not every day. You know what I'm saying? It's like, who wants to do everything at all times? Because it's statistically known that men live longer when they're married. Women die faster when they're married. And that's crazy work, because we generally go from house to house, but we're always caring for somebody else, because we care for you. We make sure you go to the doctor, you get your prostate checked and all of that kind of stuff. And because we love you, we want to make sure you're good. You know what I'm saying? But so it's just reciprocity.
Are you saying the city girls live longer?
Well, I'll pop you in your kneecap. Don't you do it. But I'm just saying. But it's reciprocity. I think that's a big word. It's reciprocity. If you're in a relationship and it's reciprocity, because like I said, what works for me and mine doesn't work for, Miss Bills and her man. Because like she said, when she said she picked that TV up and knocked his ass out tomorrow, she loved him. And that is all right with me. I cooked for him, and he went to the hospital. He was poisoned, but next week when he got out of the hospital, I bought him something nice. You know what I'm saying? It is all right. It's okay. But that's how we get down, because that is our love language. Just so you understand, don't get too far the hell out of pocket. But reciprocity. The house is clean, the bills are paid, because you know what? One of the young ladies said it, and she said it best. Because you know what, you might not always have it together. And I think the lady's name was Brene Brown. She said it's not 100%. It's not even 50-50, because some days I got 80%, you got 20. And some days you got 60, I got 40. So that's what it looks like. It's a case by case day by day. What did Vin Diesel say? The Fast and Furious, a quarter mile at a damn time. That's what we got.
Okay. Anybody else want to give me some characteristics of leadership and what a the other partner should do in the case of following?
I think
Um,
nowadays. Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
Who, me?
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
I thought
I
somebody
didn't
else was
say
saying something. My bad. I think nowadays with the economy, for real, or maybe if you're dealing with somebody that maybe just came home or something, you might got a skewed view of what it looks like for somebody to lead. You understand what I'm saying? I really think it's in you, like when it comes to making decisions for the family, like as far as protection. You understand what I'm saying? Things of that sort. But like I said, with these times and how the economy is, like if you don't really want your peoples in the streets, then we going 50-50. Sometimes we going 60-40. Sometimes we going 70-30. You understand what I'm saying? It just, you gotta be willing to make them sacrifices. I feel like if you the provider, you understand what I'm saying? It's like, all right, look, boo, I'm going all in. You can save your extras, put that up. So if anything ever happen, you got us. But that's why you gotta have a solid woman, cause you gotta trust her to hold that nest egg, bruh. You feel me? Cause she don't hold that nest egg and she run off, then the whole plan done. So, you know. That's just my take on it.
I mean, I feel 100% what she just said. I feel like relationships are all about give and take. You know what I'm saying? It's all about knowing your partner and your dynamic and what work for y'all and keeping your shit out the streets. You feel me? Like I'm not I've been in multiple situations where domestic violence has played a part, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes I was the aggressor, sometimes I was the victim. You feel me? But in all situations I left. It just I feel like everybody has their own breaking point. And what people don't do enough of is just supporting their friends. Like, I don't care how many times my friends come crying to me about their nigga and go back to him. It don't bother me personally. You know what I'm saying? Like, I listen every time. And I'm gonna be supportive every time. When you go back with the nigga, when I see y'all together, it's gonna be, oh, what's good, bro? But as soon as that nigga not around, it's gonna be, girl, I can't stand that nigga on myself. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like it's all
It can go
about,
up at any time with them.
yeah, like at any given moment, I
I
hit
don't
this nigga
gotta
with
show
a
my
chair.
hand
Just
though.
let me
It's
know
like, what's
when
up,
and
twin? What's
where. You
up?
feel me?
I'm gonna blow his
But
ass up.
listen, if we not on that today, then it's what's good, bro.
Well,
But if we jumping that nigga, let me know that too. You feel me? So I can
yeah,
know what shoes to wear. I don't
I,
know.
I don't want to cut you off, Bill, but you pretty much segueing into the next segment, so I might as well just start the next segment and let you go off because that's basically what it's about. Last but not least, we talk back, man. That's where the guys are supposed to come up at the backstage, but a lot of guys been ducking that smoke because these ladies been really doing their thing, and clearly they not trying to challenge their ideas. So until then,
Call me when you get home. Okay.
should an abuser be given a second chance in a relationship? Whether that's the relationship you in, the relationship a loved one of yours is it some type of rehabilitation when it comes to abuse based on how they was raised? What type of slack, what type of grace, what type of benefit of the doubt do we give people that come up from our culture when we know we all come from all type of different struggles and we got different hurdles that we need to jump over? Should abusers be given second chances?
Okay, so I think that it is a case by case situation, but just in general, I do believe that the even abuser is a form of a trauma release. Like that's their form of responding sometimes. And I say it's case by case because it really just depends on the strength and the willingness of someone to be able to acknowledge, like of the wrongdoings, and then also the lack of emotional intelligence to properly like express themselves. Like if there's no understanding of that, I don't think there's any way that they could get a second chance. But if there's an understanding of that, that means they're willing to learn and understand a different way of processing. And yeah, but overall it has to be a will, I feel like, for the abuser or an abusive person, aggressive person, to just make that choice to choose to express their emotions and dissatisfaction in different ways other than what they're used to or what they're comfortable with, or most times what they've seen. So I think case by case, but I do think it's a chance.
I would not. No, I wouldn't give it a second chance. I feel that if it happened once, it'll happen again, and they think they can keep doing it. So no, I wouldn't give it a second chance. I'll let it be a lesson learned for that person or whoever, and go from there. But I wouldn't allow it to happen again because it's going to keep happening.
I would have to say, like the young queen said, it's on a case by case basis. I personally wouldn't give the second chance, but overall, if the individual, the aggressor, is actually trying to make some changes and really, show a different, yeah, just be on some different shit, then I think they would be deserving of a second chance. But it's really on a case by case basis. I don't think that many cases will have that basis, but I personally would not. But I don't frown on those who do give, because that, if they're giving it to someone, like I said, that's actually working towards or not, or showing that they aren't going to do that again. But if that's just their energy and that's what they come off as, then no, no second chance.
Me personally, if I could tell myself every time I dealt with a broad young and some weird shit happened, the first time it happened, leave her alone. It don't matter. If God want me to get back with her, he'll make me get back with her. But the first time, not the second, not the third, but the first time she do some weird shit, it's done. Like I'd rather a motherfucker be like they strict, they got boundaries rather than have went through some of the shit that I done went through. So nah, I don't really think they deserve it. I just think that we forgive people a lot, and God knew we was gonna forgive a lot of people and make a lot of mistakes, and that's why he gave us free will. But nah, man. Like, nah. Unless they really redeem themselves, like, and like I said, like, unless God place them back in my life, like, nah. No, straight up.
No, hell no. Run, dip, skedaddle, skate, whichever one of those words works best for you. I don't care what anybody says. The situation is only gonna get worse. I've never seen it get better in all my years of being an advocate for domestic violence and being there for people as they go through shit and going through shit of my own. I've only ever seen it get worse. They be lying, they be gaslighting.
I have to prioritize my peace and my freedom from prison, so it's a no for me.
So there's no rehabilitation. There's no
Not for me. I said give it to God. God gonna place the person in your life that is meant for. But if I could go back from the age I start getting in relationships to now, the first time a motherfucker do something weird, you're gone. Yeah, all them chances, I wouldn't give out all them chances. No, no, sir. No, sir.
500. There's no faith without work. Right
Not
under
for
that.
me. Not for me. God gonna place the person in my life that belongs there. You wouldn't have made that dumbass mistake. Why would you hit me in my face and think, no, no. It's rehabilitation, just not with me.
Listen, rehab your shit over there.
Right. With somebody that you didn't beat on before, but you hit on me. That shit done with me.
Bitch, you stop it. You
That
stop it.
shit
First
over
suppression,
with me.
and first suppression is everything. So
Right.
yeah.
Shit over.
What about emotional abuse?
Nah.
Emotional
Hey,
Even
you
the
abuse
gotta
is the
worst.
worst
hey,
kind.
That's the
People will
worst.
isolate you. People
That
will
shit have you
isolate
going
you, separate
crazy,
you from your
man. Nah.
family. Have you feeling like you done lost your fucking mind? Get to
Losing
telling
weight,
people you crazy. Have people
gaining
thinking
weight,
you
all
crazy.
type of
You
shit.
know what I
losing
mean? Oh
weight.
my
You
God. Hell
smoking 2
no.
times as much as weed as you usually smoke.
So
Skinny
have
and
y'all?
Out,
shit.
face breaking out, skin breaking out, all types of shit you going
You
through.
feel like you allergic to certain shit. You can't eat
Head
but one
falling
time a day.
out. The fuck?
No.
No.
Hair falling out, hair dry shit. You putting all types of oils in it. No.
Now,
No.
can I ask y'all this? Have y'all abused anybody?
Hell yeah.
Get
I
listen, I ain't gonna
abused
Hell
hold you.
kids,
yeah.
This is
probably
that's why
verbally when I
domestic
was growing
violence is
up.
bad, bruh, because
Hell
when people
yeah.
start mentally abusing you and you get a hold of what they doing to you, you start doing it to them. You learn the game.
I will
Mhm.
say I have never been.
Ma, come on, Ma. Come on, Ma.
Wait a minute,
Come on
hold on.
now,
Thank
Ma.
you. Thank
Thank
Nigga
you,
you.
start
Back.
thank
talking
you,
shit.
Don.
G.
It couldn't keep being me. It couldn't keep being me, Don. Thank you.
Right, no, I was about to say, hold up. I will simply say this.
Flip a switch on a nigga in a heartbeat.
I'm just gonna say this. No one has ever vehemently, categorically in my face said that emotionally, because physically I would never.
Right, right, right.
But
But that mouth, oh, I know you laying to him, girl. I know you lays him out on the couch.
So
with
are
a
you
thick
telling me
leather belt.
somebody had to tell you that they got emotionally abused by you? It's nobody. It's no relationship that you was in where you know it was like I wasn't fully like mature or healed in that one, and
okay, so wait a minute.
I left a lot in
But
that.
see, you didn't say that. First, seeing that look. Stop asking shit.
Well,
So
maybe
let me say
that's what I'm trying to say though. You know what I'm saying? Because we
Right, you
all
was adding
grow,
stuff.
but it's
You was
no
adding
way.
stuff.
I got this. I gotta talk back at this on this one.
Okay, well, I'm
There's
gonna
no
say this.
way
Any man,
rehabilitation does not exist.
wait a minute, hold up. Any man, any woman that stands her ground against a man will say that, well, you was a problem. I wasn't a problem. I just stood my ground. I'm gonna go that way. I stood my ground every time, but I'm pretty chill for the most part. I'm not disrespectful, but you disrespect me, I'll show you something else.
That's what I'm saying. That's
There
why I
you
say
go. We'll go with that.
You turn into what you give.
Come on, Don. I'm gonna give as good as I get.
Yeah,
Tit for
yeah.
tat.
See,
Hand
with
right.
me,
I'm
I think
gonna
my
say
mental abuse.
rehabilitation. I'm gonna say that it is possible, right? But not right away. Like if a nigga smack you and then tell you tomorrow he not gonna do it again. Yes, the fuck he is. No,
Yeah, that's why I
that
said
man
just
gotta.
not with me.
It's gonna take years of
Yeah,
growth.
you gotta get that
You
shit
gonna have
off
to
with
go through
somebody else.
therapy. You gonna have to
Mhm.
figure your shit out and figure out why you the way that you are, what your triggers are, what provokes you to do these types of things, why you need to fucking hit me.
Hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? That's
Because
some shit you got to work out, bro. But
sometimes a
I
man
can't
or a
help you
woman,
through that. That's some shit you got to go over yonder with, and maybe
right,
like
Mhm.
7 years later we'll see.
right. Because sometimes a man or a woman don't start out beating on people. They could be in like 2, 3 relationships before, and they be like, "Girl, I ain't never deal with that with him." And they second, third relationship, he be like, "Girl, he be beating the shit out of me." Like, wait, what?
Man,
It's 2
I
girlfriends
dealt with
before
a
that
nigga.
never dealt with that though.
I
So it
dealt
don't
with a
know if you
nigga. All the bitches before me told me that nigga beat the dog shit out them, and I was like,
he
y'all
ain't
didn't
never
swing
touched
back.
me.
Yes, the
Right.
fuck he did. He tried. But
Oh,
the one
okay.
time he did, I knocked that nigga noodle her loose. And he
Mm-hmm.
never tried that shit again.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't swing back. He was little too. You not swing
Yeah.
back, bitch.
My mental abuse is like isolation though. Like I ice a bitch out.
Hell nah. I'm a
Yeah, I'm
dick.
icing them
I'm gonna
out.
beat your ass and I'm a
Big
dick.
back bitch
Like a
is
chip.
crazy.
Like I never met you in my life. Disappeared.
Sorry.
I'm
All right,
crying.
but to
I
that
want to
point,
be.
go ahead, Z.
I want to be for real. Everybody joining in and being real. I have been bold emotional, emotionally abusive. That was because I was dishing out what was already given out. But I chose to do that. So I was emotionally abusive. I was just, can you handle it? And he couldn't. And then abusive. I was abusive in my first relationship with my kid's dad. I used to like throw stuff at him and all kinds of stuff.
I can tell.
Oh, yeah. I had to learn how to communicate because I used to get frustrated and be like, you should know what it is, and then get
They had
mad
to like,
and then just start throwing stuff. And he was just so big and
you
he would
not
just
fucking with
ignore
that
me.
water?
So I'll just throw stuff at him and get him to be mad with me. And I was like, that's not the way to get someone to see things your way. So I had to grow out of that. But then my last relationship, he was abusive and I did go up with him, and he said, I will never do that again. So, you know, I'm not, I grew out of it, but I feel like it does take time because, like, you have to understand, like, how you say your name?
Bill.
Bills. Oh, I should have known that. Okay, like Bills was like Bills was saying, like you have to like unlearn a lot of things. And well, number one, you have to understand the root. Where is this coming from? Number two, why am I perpetuating this? Like, what in me is making me perpetuate this? Number three, what can I do to like make steps to they say a positive reinforcement, different habits that you could take on that will be better, but it takes a lot of steps, and it really just depends on how much work someone is willing to put in towards change for real. But I had to say that because I was like, yeah, I was one of those. I know a lot of stuff now, but there was times when I did it.
You're not the only one, Z. That's all I'm trying to unpack. I thank you so much for bringing that to the table, because that is what I'm. Oh, we don't hear you, Ma. I don't know why.
I'm about
That's
to say, y'all
go ahead.
the young people nowadays, y'all are really dangerous. So no, it's no,
It's
don't give them no second, not even a half a chance. Y'all are burning people up on barbecues.
1623.
Yeah, it's real stuff, but it just I feel like it's traumas that we all deal with, and we all have our different little ways of that is not positive of responding to traumas and hurts and pains and stuff like that. And like the emotional and physical, like that's in relationships is brought up, but like when we step outside of relationships, like it don't change. You still be like that with your friends, you still be like that with your people. So like
I got a question. Do you know what I often always notice? And tell me if I'm wrong. Do you ever notice that videos, TV, or any BD movie that's like black movies, it's all throughout it. It's like celebrated. And I always thought that was like a negative aspect. But people
what's
like
celebrated?
Domestic violence.
Okay.
Bad relationships. It's like in almost every movie, everything. If it's not negative, they're not gonna play it.
The Love and Hip Hop's the whole thing. It's all based off that.
And it's like, but you know, but for every negative relationship, there are 10 great relationships, or at least passable ones.
But what we kind of know that is the Love and Hip Hop is the reality for a lot of people. That's just the upscale version of it. But
She is dumb as hell.
But it's way more of them than we think. We look at the TV and be thinking, why would they throw a ball and then everybody come and fight and mess it up? Why does that happen at all of our birthday parties, anniversaries, family reunions,
but
every single thing?
I don't. I'm gonna tell you something. I really don't think. Let me say this. I don't believe that to be true, and I'm gonna stand 10 toes down on that. I believe that. Let me say it this way. I don't believe that to be true. I believe that's what we perpetuate. I believe that. Here's a good example.
I believe we probably shouldn't say it and perpetuate it, but I believe it to be true.
I don't. Here's my example. Okay. When the sniper was out, right? You remember Malvo and them, and they were like,
yeah, I was going to Sula.
Oh, okay. They were like, look for the white van, and we were so paranoid looking for the damn white van. That's all we would see is a white van. So so if you're looking for,
man, I was zigzagging across the street.
You only see a toxic relationship. You don't see the positive relationships, the cute relationships, the healthy relationships, the long-term relationships. All you ever see is Ray and Boo Boo beating the hell out of each other, because that is what you're programmed to see on a regular damn basis. I'm telling you, I believe that there are more positive relationships, just like there's so many more intelligent young African American people than there are stupid. We are smart by design. But if you looked on any type of television, they would have you thinking the African American youth are just as dumb as the box of rocks. And that is not true.
But
And I'm
Ma,
telling you,
but don't it gotta be a line of us saying, man, we smart as hell, but then
no,
we live
it
it.
doesn't.
But
You
just
don't
hear me
have
out.
to listen. You do not have to announce your intelligence for it to be there. That's what I'm telling you. If you continually see, like you said, love and hip hop, the negative podcast, the this, that, and the fourth, that's what you will always look for. But that does not mean that that is the heterotive norm.
Well, I
What you're
mean, that's what we're seeing when we at the liquor stores, when we go to the stores, when we
what
go
you at
into
the
the.
damn liquor store. Get out the liquor
It
store.
ain't just no. I was just gonna say the liquor
Take
stores because
your ass to the library.
that's where
Come
they
on,
at.
Bill, tell them.
Where the
Put it
library?
down,
Shit,
Bill.
go to a
Say it.
poetry slam.
Bro, where the
You know what I
libraries at
mean?
in the
It's
communities?
all about the types of things that do. For me, I feel like it's situational awareness, right? You gonna meet the types of people in the types of places that you go to. So if you want to meet an intellectual, go to a place where intellectuals go to feed their minds. You feel me? You want to meet a bitch that's gonna shake her ass on your dick, take your ass to the club. But if that's not what you want, then go somewhere different. Go to a museum. Go, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah,
You
I'm
have to
definitely with
expand
that.
your mind.
When you're searching for a partner, for sure. But when Mom was talking about the us not being educated and stuff, it's like it's kind of a fact though. It's like we in these very detrimental situations in our communities, man, when it comes to education, resources, a lot of things that I just recently got educated on. So it's like it's a
Hmm?
need to say it out loud because sometimes
He need what?
to say the
Right
books
now?
ain't the same, the
Okay.
laptops ain't the same, the buses don't work the same,
It's no
the,
more on the
the windows ain't the same, the air conditioners don't work the same, the teachers aren't the same, the
So let me
facility is
stop
not
you
the
right there.
same.
Okay, so
So that
I hear
hurts
what you're
their
saying. Now,
education.
all right, I hear what you're saying, and let me double down on that for you for this. Um, the state that we are in right now under this administration, right? With the reversal of a lot of laws and a lot of this, that, and the fourth. I think people need to truly understand that when we were really beginning to get educated in this country, we didn't have half of anything. All we really truly had were people who were really truly dedicated in teaching us. When we were segregated and being educated, we learned premium quality education. Why? Because we weren't being indoctrinated. When the robber barons like Ford, Rockefeller, all those people came about, we really became indoctrinated. It's when we were in the schools and we did have the subpar schools, classrooms, books, and this and the fourth that we became indoctrinated. You can, I will tell you, you can take 10 kids in a crappy environment with a dedicated teacher who, with very little resource but a hell of a lot of dedication, who will really focus on educating, because there's a difference between indoctrination and education, who will educate those kids as opposed to a teacher who is in the best of
I'm with you,
resources.
Mom, because you walking me right down to the line that I wanted to go to,
Well, let's go with it.
because this is what what I was questioning you earlier about rehabilitation. In my opinion, this is me.
Okay.
We talk about. I agree exactly with what you just said. The black woman or the black kids per se. You saying that the uneducated black kids can have a, you know what I'm saying, a cultural
Don't say
black.
just black women, black men too.
I was about to say a black woman or a black man from our culture, but you know, a cultural person from the same upbringing, etc., with these same uneducated kids, but with the less resources, they could make it happen, being determined and dedicated, right?
Correct.
But I don't want to speak for the men because you know it's majority women on here, and we talk back, and I want to walk you to the line of when I was saying about the rehabilitation. See, I would question when that can ever happen because if you aren't willing to rehabilitate a man, someone you love, someone that's you in a relationship with, someone you're willing to love and grow with. I'm not saying it has to be the super abuser man. I'm just saying I wanted to hear, even when she said, when Z said, I had to even stop and think, what am I doing to perpetuate this? I even have to stop and think, you know what I'm saying? What surroundings is causing these other than him? That's what I was trying to get to with rehabilitation because sometimes you may have to look at yourself, right, ladies, and be like, hey, the man definitely could be damaged and abusive and etc. Right? But what am I doing? Right?
Okay,
But
To
see,
not,
I feel
hold
like
up,
it's
no,
oh,
to perpetuate this, right? But then that one moment when you say, dang, I may be yelling too much and I may be doing this too much, so let me change this to see if he act different. That's when you're choosing to give him a chance to rehabilitate. You're then not just leaving off
so
bucks.
wait a minute.
Or am
So
I lying?
but what you're doing is something that and I can respect what you're saying,
And I
but
think
you
it's
mix
healthy.
apples with oranges. We're talking the difference between education and life skills, in my opinion. Okay, I could be wrong, but it's the difference between education and life skills. Because first of all, you cannot make a person do what they cannot see themselves doing beyond their choice. A young man who doesn't want to change won't change. A woman, I don't care how much she loves him, cannot love him past his choices. She can tell him, babe, I'm going to be here with you. I'm going to love you through everything. I know you're hurting. I know you've been damaged. I know you're trauma filled. I know this is going on. She can stay with this man until he damn near kills her. And he can really earnestly try over and over and over again to want, but never change. He has to earnestly within himself change on his own. But we were talking about education because see a
Because the
young mind,
children will have to do the same
right,
thing, right?
but a young mind is nimble. It's like what's the method teaching an old dog a new trick. See, at some point, like me, when your hip get in a certain way and the groove say, bitch, if I fall now, I don't heal like young people heal. That's why I don't fuck around on certain things. So it's the same way with a mindset. When a mindset get fixed, certain people, a prison might break it because that's when they feel like all hope is lost, or death might break it. That is when I used to tell people this all the time. The real you will show up several times in your life, but the fake you will push it away often. And a traumatic experience will always make the real you come out. In domestic violence situations, the perpetrators, real them, will often show up.
But
But
who heals us, Ma?
huh?
Who heals us? The
You
damaged
heal
women.
yourself.
Oh, no,
nigga,
hear me out. Hear me out.
you heal
All right.
you.
So the damaged woman heals herself, and the damaged man heals himself.
Yes, sir.
How? Through
I'll
what?
tell you
Through what?
how.
Through what
When you
methods,
are
guys?
in a
Please
Through
tell me.
relationship, okay,
therapy,
Trey,
Therapy,
listen,
self-revelation,
therapy,
self-realization.
therapy is by yourself, though,
listen,
guys.
baby. Okay, here's my take on it. It's the same way when men and women get into relationships and they break up, right? A woman will often get out of the relationship and be brokenhearted. She will spend time healing herself. A man will jump and find another woman. 9 times out of 10, he will jump and find another woman. Why? Wait a minute, because he's more, it affects him more, but he's not willing to deal with the emotional pain of it. So he'll go get another female instead of dealing with it. He has to deal with it.
But see, this is where my pushback come from. When you said about the easy bake ovens and the water guns, it's like you say raise the children the same, but then once they become adults, you saying that the playing field is uneven, and that's cool for the men. And I have to speak for young Black American men specifically. I can't speak for all these other type of guys, right? When you saying you want my father and my mother to raise me just like my sister. The gun, I can have a Barbie doll, I can have all this and that. Even though I'm going to go through different trials and tribulations, that's not going to be the same as my sister, which is just a fact, right?
Correct. That's a fact.
So we know when the jail and all of these different things happen to the man and he gets scarred.
But why does he have to go to jail?
Because that's just a fact
No,
of the
it's
numbers
not.
and the reality of our culture.
See, that's where you keep
all
going
culture. I gotta speak for. I can't speak for Obama. I don't know Obamas, Ma. I don't know those guys, Mom.
Okay, go ahead.
That's why
go
when
ahead.
I speak to the young guys, right? When I go to the jails, when I go to these young guys and I speak to these guys, I even ask my friends and my peers, who is the most honorable guy you know?
Okay,
Because
your friend.
we don't know these guys.
Correct.
No, I ask everybody. I
Okay.
ask every male that I know. Even
Okay.
I ask the young ladies. I would
Okay.
love to ask y'all, who is the most honorable woman that you ever met in your life? And then when I ask this on this spectrum, just how you was saying, oh, the jail, why we gotta go to jail? That's the same spectrum I give to the honorable question. Don't give me somebody that used to sell drugs and is give me the most honorable person that you know, not no abusive person, not nobody that abused alcohol, drugs, not nobody that went to jail. And it's not a lot of us in our culture. I would love to for one of y'all to tell me that person. And my next question right after that follow up is I would love to meet that person.
Okay.
Because we looking for them. I was on the sites room yesterday, even in the culture, we're looking for leaders, right? So only reason why I'm giving y'all the pushback about the rehabilitation and relationships with these broken men, because a lot of us are from the same culture, right? Is because I'm just asking, even for y'all, without pushback on the men, when they say she too feisty, she too da-da-da, who's supposed to heal her though, bro? That's all I'd be asking. And I'm asking y'all the same thing. Who is supposed to heal them? Because when you say therapy bills, come on, niggas ain't going to therapy. And then when you advise therapy, that's still an outside source. That's not yourself.
Listen, hear me
So
out, Trey Five. Hear me out. Hear me out. All right. I went through this, right? Because as I told you, like I was the abuser before. Like I was a broken person out here dating and putting this negative energy out into the world. Like I've been that person. You feel me? And I had to really face my demons. And I couldn't do that shit talking to my friends. I couldn't do that shit talking to my family because those are biased parties. I went through anger management. I went through situational therapy. I went through fucking therapy specifically dealing with trauma from parents. I went through therapy specifically dealing with the loss of a sibling. You know what I mean? I went through all of these different things because I had to really figure out who the fuck I was and why I was so broken. You feel me? So I spent a lot of time by myself and I did the work. So that's the only reason why I know it works because I have rehabilitated myself, but I had to do that shit alone. Couldn't nobody fix me? Like nobody could fix me, just like you can't fix nobody. You gotta want to do that
this,
work for
my
yourself.
only
You can't
rebuttal
do
for
that work for your
everybody,
partner.
I'm with you, but my only rebuttal for everybody that says that is, have you ever met yourself?
Yeah,
Yeah,
You met
I
yourself
dated
before?
myself. I dated
yeah,
myself. It was
yeah.
very scary.
Like and then you got to love yourself
No,
first.
no, no, no. I'm talking about real life. Have you ever met yourself?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
You
Where?
have to.
When?
I define my okay. So I defined myself back in '06. I put myself on the isolation in '06. Every day I went walking. I dropped my kids off. Every day I went walking down Anacostia Park. I have not had sex with a dude for like 9. I made it. I could have went 12 months, but I made it to 9. I'm just speaking honest God truth. I went into I started losing weight real heavy. That's the heaviest weight I ever lost. I was going to church every day. I was in church on Bible study, going to church on Fridays, Sundays. Some days Friday we running the show. I was talking to God. I was self-care myself. I had to get close to myself. When I say I went into a journey defining myself because that's the only way I knew that I had to deal with alone was just like what's her name? Bill was
Bill.
saying, just like she was saying, like you have to do it yourself. It's nobody that's gonna walk that path but you. That's the only way you're gonna know yourself. So now I'm at the strongest point in my life where I don't go for half of the shit that I used to go for. That's anything. If I'm not treated like a queen, I'm moving like a queen, I'm moving like a boss. I claims all that. My self-care level so high. I don't play with my health. Like I became a person that I'm even strengthening other people. Can't believe the people I'm touching, walking in a godly life. And I'm not saying that some days it don't be what it be, but I'm so far gone from my old chapter in my life to where the person I am today can't nobody understand that. And I'm still moving along. It even the circle got so small to the point, and I used to be the one I'm in every crowd, men and females. Like I was the one at the party. That was the one that bring it all together. So, but I'm to a place now. I'm talking about they will pay. Oh, come on, sis, you coming out? Nope, I ain't gonna pay it. They be mad. They like it is. I changed, man, and it took a long time to get here. I'm one of the ones I will snap out real quick. Man, I keep a thing of eggs in my car because if you cut me off, I'm throwing an egg at your ass. Like I was terrible. I was terrible. But where I'm at today, man, killing them with kindness. I understand that now. Moving with talking to I'm even hearing God. When I fast and pray, that stuff is everything that our ancestors is real. I feel everything that they were talking to me as a child just by me going into these isolations of myself of what I'm not even dealing with. Last time, not to be so into the business. I don't. Not saying, and then the sad part, not saying I can't get a dude or whatever the case is, but my tolerance so low, I ain't going for shit. My level so high, like it been last year, January last year. So I'm still in my own zone and can't nothing stop me. And I'm gonna tell you, I was that fast ass girl. I love all that. Yep. But I came so far to where I'm at today. It's like untouchable right now. So it can't happen. Just FYI.
When I say I've met myself, Trey Five, I mean I dated a nigga who had the same exact birthday as me and who was literally me. Like we went through very similar situations growing up. We had very similar upbringings. We went to very similar colleges. We had very similar jobs. We were very similar people. You feel me? So that's what I mean when I say I dated myself, and it was just like that was really one of the things that had me really wanting to do the work to figure out who the fuck I was because I'm like, every time you do some dumb
Don't
shit,
think
I
this
see
no
me
wine.
doing
It's
this dumb
water.
shit. Like that shit was like looking in the mirror for
Yeah, it was good.
Mhm.
I ain't know which
But you
way you
did.
gave
That was
yourself
a
all over.
testament. I was like, yes, say it, because that's really how it goes when you meet yourself in that way, and come through and see what you were supposed to see and understand what you're supposed to understand. That's really how it's supposed to look, what it looks like, and it's a beautiful thing. It's so beautiful. It's scary and it's sad
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. A lot of the times, especially in the beginning. And then it's hard because you got to fight what you was going and accepting before. You have to fight all of that. And really, ooh,
And it's
I felt
hard,
chills just now. It's so hard, but
but it's
it's a
worth
yeah,
it.
it's a journey. It's a process.
yeah.
And they say healing is a ugly process. The
That
healing
shit
process is
ugly as
very
hell, but it's
ugly.
so
It
worth
gets
it.
ugly before it gets beautiful. Like, of course, the once you're healed, that's the beautiful part. But the healing process is ugly. It's nasty. It hurts. You like, fuck this. Do I really have to go through this? Is it really that serious? But like when you go through that process and really accept it and make it through, it's a whole nother thing. And this is like you never going back after that. So I felt her like you
That's
can't
where
say
I'm at.
nothing to me because you
That's where
ain't
I'm at.
you know ever gonna going back once you see things the way you're supposed to. Once you understand things the way you understand you're supposed to understand them, you can accept or be around anything less. Like even now, I'm about to go out. I have a tolerance level to be around the general public. Like I have to get my energy ready. I have to get my energy ready. I have to be mindful of the crowd. I have only a time frame that I could be out this time now. Like I'm like Cinderella. Like I gotta get home because shit goes about to turn different. Like I'm cool right now because I know how to operate, or I guess because I didn't understand the way I understand now. So I was moving different, but like I could go around, but it has its limits. It has its limits. It has its limits. It has its limits
Man,
because ain't no way. And then on top of that, I think of myself too as being like clean, like as wearing, like having clean garments, a clean body, a clean mind. So I'm like, when I do go around in these other spaces, these people do not feel nor are they the same, and that is could make me dirty, make me less than myself and less than where I have grown to become. So yeah, I feel
Definitely gotta
Tish.
protect your
Yeah,
energy though. That's a
you
fact.
got to.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
yes.
And my only pushback that I was saying is just I definitely understand. I'm with the independence, dog, and the empowerment of women for sure. My only pushback is the only thing I think strong is the union between y'all and my man.
Yes, that's what I was
So
about to say.
Absolutely.
Because that is the foundation. Like I know you've heard like off of all the different segments I've been on with you, Trey. Like I have said the same thing. Like you have to be at a certain level and meet someone at the level and go together, work together. But a unhealed and a healed individual or an unhealed and an unhealed individual, that's not gonna work. But when you're able to love yourself, then you could properly love the next individual. And that's where the healing is very important.
You
And
can't pour
why
into somebody else's cup if yours is empty.
there we and that right there, and that's an empty cup is an unhealed individual, because a healed individual will not let their cup be empty. You won't even be too far down. Like, no, you understand. They say spreading yourself thin. That's the same thing. It's the same thing. You have like your cup is real low. You're not being mindful.
so how do people come up in unhealed environments, then get healed, and then decide they want to what find a healed individual?
Well, like I have also mentioned, you could work with people, but as friends, like I don't, I like even now, like I have a friend who I am supporting, but we're not together. You're not, no. And if I meet someone who is equally yoked, he already know what it is because we're just friends. But we are working together, and if he's able to meet me at a certain point, then yes, we could be together. But as of now, we are friends, and I support you and what you're doing and the what you say you want to achieve. But until it's actually in the physical, you know, no, because of
And
just the levels, and then what I had experienced before in the past. I'm just like, I can't be playing around with the shoulda, coulda, wouldas.
let me be clear. I don't have a problem with. I
Nah.
feel like healers need to be with protectors, right?
Yes.
So if my protector is broken, I will help to do the work to heal him. I'm
Yes.
not saying I won't help heal a nigga, right? But there's levels to you being broken.
Right.
If
That's what
me
I'm trying to
healing
get to the middle
you,
ground.
if
There we
me
go.
healing you is breaking me, then I
Right.
can't heal you. You know what I mean? If you need emotional support, if you need love, if you need cuddles, if you need, somebody to tell you that you're fucking important, if you need somebody to motivate you to get you out of that funk that you in, if you need somebody to push you past your bullshit and help you see what's going on, you feel me? All of that I can do. But if you want me to be your punching bag, I'm gonna beat your ass.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See, that's what I was trying to do. At
Yes.
least find the middle ground of
Yes.
the rehabilitation of if a abuser should be taken back, because I know the saying, hurt people hurt people. So a lot of people
Mhm.
that are hurt, not trying to placate for the niggas, because y'all know damn well I ain't telling y'all to try to rehabilitate nobody after 3 black eyes. You know what I'm saying? He's a done deal. Shit, not even really after 1 black eye. Even though I understand, like, you know what I'm
I
saying?
mean, I feel
I
like
ain't gonna sit
maybe
up here
two
and lie.
black eyes is the
Yeah, I ain't gonna
limit,
sit up
you
here and
know?
lie. I've seen some squabbles out there. You know what I'm saying? Been around some shit. You know what I'm saying?
Some people just
I
be
never
light
did nothing too
skinned. I
crazy.
don't
Yeah.
know.
Most I ever did was slap a woman. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't never go no further than that. I
So if
ain't.
you see me pray,
But
I
what
get in my head. You see me talking about smacking. I'm like,
I'm trying to but I'm trying to be 100 of
yeah, no, I get it. No,
uh
got to be. You only
it's
can
not
say what.
because many more I ain't want to slap their ass. So I'm just saying, it don't matter what type of man, like shit is threatening to you. No
Yeah,
matter who
no,
you
I
are,
get it.
shit is annoying. Shit be threatening. Sometimes you ain't looking at what the gender
Suda,
the person is. You
what
just
you
on you
doing away?
treating
And
disrespect
when
as
did you get
disrespect.
so
So
long?
that's
You
definitely not
pretty big
right.
as shit.
But
I'm big as shit.
in the
Did you
dynamics of
grow
men and
overnight?
women, we understand it happens. You know what I'm saying? That
Mm-hmm.
it's a tuggle between the aggressiveness, the femininity, the masculinity, the, you know what I'm saying, who has what, depending on the roles in the relationships. And I'm trying to come together of, we see all that, them fights a lot in our culture. I'm not even, we ain't on no Bill Cosby, well, I don't want to say Bill. We ain't on no Huxtable shit on here. Like, we know we come up from that shit with everybody rumbling at the cookouts and shit. Hearing your aunt shit on your uncle is your whole fucking life. Or your mama shit on your daddy. Somebody, it's going on. You know what I'm saying? Everywhere. So I just be wanting to know where the middle ground come from. Is what is fixable, because I believe that us together is most important. So I'm with the rehabilitate, I'm with the independence, work out, you know what I'm saying? I don't know about that therapy, because in my opinion, the therapy should be, I think the best therapy is love. Somebody you loving, a union, you talking to a man that's growing you, or that man talking to a woman that's growing him. I don't know about therapists and all that other shit. That's just me though, because I haven't been experienced to it. I'm open to it, but a lot of people, a lot of men that I know in this particular culture, I only like to speak about our culture, but that's what I know about. It's things that men, we can't talk to them therapists. It's things we trying to grow, we trying to get past that. We're not going to feel comfortable sitting on no couch, or we don't care if it's a man or a woman.
Our therapy in the street anyway, go holler at uncle and aunties. You know how we do.
It got to be somebody is going to stay. That information is going to stay there.
Exactly, real talk, real shit.
And they understand what you're going through, and they gonna be able to be what I'm talking about. What say this ain't true. Majority of us, our favorite auntie and uncles is the one that's the black sheep. We gonna bring everything to them. We talk to them everything, because they gonna be the ones that
keep it real. That's how you
and what we think keeping it real is forgiving us for our mistakes. Dang, you stole the car.
You gotta
keep
that shit real from all. I'm one of them ones.
I've been through that before, young. I've been through that, nephew. That shit be going on, man. And I just feel like
know nothing about that. I never had no family, no nothing to count on. So like as far as like the self-love and having, I had to go through that in so many levels of my stages of my life, as a child, as a teenager, as an adult, as a mother, then as a woman and mother, like just combining both of them. Just so I also understand that like everybody is not like I heard in the conversation before I got in that it was like a mention of like school and education smarts, and then like life skills not being this taught and understood. And people these days are really like, if they're smart, they're really just book smart, or they're just smart as to how to go about the day-to-day that we see, this matrix that we're living. But as far as emotionally, what they do on their back end or how they process things, it's not always the best. They probably are the way they are because in their mindset, they're like, I'm achieving because I have these things. They just look smart, and people take that in and digest what they're saying. So like, as far as even being a therapist and a counselor to each other, honestly, we are not in a condition to be therapists and to each other genuinely, unless we really do the work. So like, I feel like it's a hard thing, because like I think it's difficult. I think there needs to be, and that's what like we mentioned, like aunties and uncles. I think third parties are important. That aspect is important to be involved. Like I feel like we spend so much of our time thinking that we're going to figure things out between ourselves. Sometimes that third party that is within love, it doesn't have to be a therapist, needs to be involved to kind of help dissect things, because I don't think that people are really at the emotional intelligence level to really guide themselves through relationships for real when they deep in it.
But our friends aren't at emotional levels to guide us through that shit either. And
At
it's just
all. That's
like,
why I don't talk
I
to
feel
them
like
either.
we
I don't
need
have those
them
either.
aunties and uncles neither. These niggas been on
No.
their third fucking marriage, 7 fucking kids with 10 fucking baby daddies because they aborted 3. I'm not listening to my aunties and them. Like, you know what I'm
Right,
saying?
exactly.
Oh,
Nobody. I don't
when I
check it
say
with
that,
nobody
y'all,
for none of
sometimes
that
it's like
stuff.
a
So I'm
figure.
not the one. No.
No, it's like a figure of speech when I say that in different forms of ways. Like, because you could pull up on Like you can really pull up on people who really dealing with this live on stuff with not even just our real auntie. You could call it like it'd be just like people just really like Trey Fast say they're going to speak the truth, like regardless. Like they're gonna you can sit there like I got girlfriends that may come to me, you know, and you know, I'm gonna listen to you, hear you out, but at the same time, you know, it's gonna be things they not gonna want to hear, but I can't be fake by me trying to comfort the way you think it's supposed to be, and that's not really how I go, baby girl. I'm gonna sit here and share my experience, but definitely when it come down to this, because I feel that I've been in a lot of situations that I have a lot of things I can share, what I can share from my experiment. But that's what I mean when I be saying like aunties and uncles or whatever. You know, just you got some people that's gonna real talk you. That's what I mean. Like it's kind of see how to more put it, but it's some people out there straight talking because I'm blunty. Like I'm a straight talker.
I want to ask y'all two questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, why do we feel like failures don't have expertise? Why we feel like just because people failed at things that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about?
No, you can't do that.
That's one thing that I want to ask y'all, right? And then two, I want to ask y'all, even if the messenger is fucked up, does the message not still exist? Auntie and uncle could have 3 failed marriages and 7 baby daddies with 8 kids, but that don't mean you can't listen to them and you're gonna have the same thing. It's just what I want to push back on.
Yeah, bird's eye
She
view
telling
and
me leave
stepping
this
out
nigga
of the
because he ain't put no
situation
gas
that
in my
got
car.
occurred.
Meanwhile, she let her niggas skate all over the world. Like, no, TT, you want me to be miserable with you.
Not the one to
I'm
choose.
not doing that.
That's not the one to choose. So that's just an example of what not to do. But
But I feel like when we know TT is that person, we know how to take certain things with a grain of salt. Like I was like, all right, bet that like she gave me some good Lord, you know what I'm saying, talk, and now she going off the rail. She 2 cups in, we 30 minutes in. Let me exit out because I be on that with the quickest. So the OGs get to going downhill. It's like I'll let
I'm
you.
not saying people who fail don't have good information to give you either. But if you keep doing the same shit, like if you literally have failed at the same thing 7 times and you still are in a failure for the 8th time, I'm not listening to you.
yes, that's what I'm
You
about to
gotta
say.
fail and then fix that
Example.
shit. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? Failures should not just be failures. They should go
Thank
from being
you.
failures to being lessons because you're
But
supposed to grow
Yes.
from that shit.
they are
Exactly.
the
If they're still
failures.
perpetuating the same thing,
A lot of
no.
us fail because we know we fail based off habits. So if Unc is failing because he got a particular habit and he a type of nigga, that I just don't feel like that don't mean he don't know what he talking about.
And be like, look, I messed up here, but like I see
Yeah.
that you could do this, that, and the third.
Yes. His
Because
knowledge
that's
is
what I
true,
would
but
have
his
did.
habits is
But if Unc's not being for real and he just like keep up what you doing or
so you
trying to
telling me
hype
so you
you
telling
up,
me so
like,
you telling me Unc in front of the liquor store can't tell me as I walk inside the liquor store, Shawty, you don't need to be drinking alcohol.
yeah, he can.
Yes. That's the same example
He
though.
can't tell you that because
But,
if even though
that's
he's
good
doing
advice
it,
too. That's good advice. We was talking that there was a mention of not so good advice.
Right. It's just the messenger, but the messenger I think the messenger gives bad messengers give good advice as well. So
yeah.
so I just
I believe truth can come from anywhere. So a good message, yes, but it has to be a good message.
right.
You
I'm
can't
gonna tell you, you
And
know,
push
a
guys.
homeless
I'm not trying to
man,
push us to
you
the toxic families
ask
because
anybody.
I
you know, a
I,
They,
I
homeless man
understand
they
can
how
give
don't
that
you a
is.
have.
good.
They have to
You
be
know, a
for
homeless
real.
man can
Cause
give
you
you a
could
good
get
advice.
that's what I was about to say. The
They give
homeless
you
people
best.
put you
They give
on
you. They got a
game.
lot of stories, man. I got a
Yes.
homeless girlfriend that stays. She's in a homeless
Oh,
community. She don't have to be that
awesome.
way. She just be that way. She's that way. She write poems. And I deal with the editing for dealing with the community down at Union Health. She writing a Hope community paper. I want to say. I think that's a paper in DC. She write on, and I do a little editing. I help out with the team, and I volunteer my work there just to help out. So believe it or not, it's a lot of people that's homeless. You will be surprised of the stories that you hear of how they got there and how important these people's was. So even though where I'm in the stages of my life, I don't take nothing for granted, and I always kind of like I don't get comfortable because it could be taken away like that. So I'd be so grateful for just any and everything because the people I heard out there, you will be surprised. So I even got a lot of respect for them too, to be honest. I hate to be that. I mean, I just got a lot of respect for that community too, because you got some out there that ain't there, but then you will be surprised with stories you hear from people you don't even know. So I'm one of the ones like, even though they may look or whatever, I just listen because you never know. And then I'd be like, damn, like I got something out of just that quick, just listening to him, and they ain't even. And the first thing I thought with my mind frame and how they got there was totally different. He made me see. He opened my eyes wide, and that was less than 30 minutes. So that's all it takes. I mean, it's just people do have stories to tell, so that's why I don't judge nobody. Even though I changed my life, I be saying things now because I used to be that girl when how moms be having single moms, you got that girlfriend, so they probably because I went in the store one day, I was on Go Road, and they like, damn, well, she probably thinks she like that woo all this other shit whole time. So when I get to talking, they gonna be relaxed. Because I'm looking at this girl got 3 kids, but my daughter got 3 kids, young, 22, young. If you see how I am now and where she at, you'll be surprised, but it is what it is. She's still young. I mean, you got to go through it. I try to do all what I can to teach you. I did everything the best I can, but at the same time, you got to learn the road yourself, baby girl. But at the same time, I seen how when I came in that store, how she grinned me and looked me, and I'm like, damn, I already know where she was at. But when I got to kind of, talking a little bit, it kind of went away. But I said when she came out and I got in my car, I said, well, at least she ain't getting in her car. That's why I don't judge nobody. I don't care what it is. Like, I don't care if you, man, I was that girl. I started from there. Like right now, when you say you about to go out, I was there. So because soon you say you about to go out, I was looking at that time. I was over here like, and I was like, I remember them days, but I know, but you, but
girl,
you
it's 9 o'clock where I'm at. I'm gonna be back at 11.
So I wanted to say that you gonna get to, as you age, that's how you gonna grow to get all where our ancestors was telling us that. Because I ain't never think I'd be talking the way I'm talking. I mean, I used to be, but it's growth. You know what I'm saying? Yes. I was in them shoes. I've been there. I love the street. I used to love the street, stay in the street. I watch them talk. I got kids in now, growing up. Just I've been in the street. I'm one of the ones. If you see my kid out, if you see me, you'll be like, damn, them your kids. But I'm the one Southeast talking and been in Montgomery County for 16 years. You know what I'm saying? So it is a little different because it's still in me. Don't get it, because there's a little bit here and there, but when it's time to get, put them glasses on and, got to get professional shit like that. But other than that, still me, still come out. But she locked up though. She's down there. I got different characters. But when it's time to come outside, I don't get it twisted. I get on my 25-year-old look. fit in real quick. Like I'm not 45, fit in real quick. So, I just like, street smart all around is good to be. You just be alert of everything if you can while you age, and just be alert and pay attention and always pay attention to what you learning from that experiment and don't repeat it. That's all. That's life. Facts of life.
This episode was heavy but necessary. If tonight's conversation hit home for you, please know you're not alone and help is available. If you need someone or you know someone in need of abusive relationship, y'all know it's a national domestic hotline, 1-800-799-SAFE, which is 1-800-799-7233. And also contact your local shelters. Go to your village, come to us in some type of capacity. We'll figure something out. As the lady stated, they ain't taking back no abusive parties. All of them flags damn near was red. Based off the stories we heard, a lot of people get them red flags off bucks and they bounce from the panelists. So if you feel the same way or you feel different, make sure you drop how you feel in the comments. Follow us at She Talks We Listen. The subscribe channel gonna pop up. The last episode gonna pop up. We out. We appreciate everybody that tuned in. She Talks We Listen.